Hey y'all, Fuzz Z Biker here in one of Baxter Cycles shop areas. This is a Royal Enfield Bear 650. Check that hot rod out. Belongs to a good friend of mine. And he asked me if I would put a Decat pipe on an exhaust. I think everything's in that box right there. Not sure what that looks like. You know what, I'll get that deboxed. We will get rid of this. We'll get rid of this Decat, this catalytic converter down here, this thing. And then we'll put the Decat in, and then we'll put the pipe on the end. And that should make this bear a number one. All right, I unboxed it. The box says AEW mid pipe with Performance Cat stainless steel mat. That's what the product looks like right there. I don't know if you can read that right there. It says AEW Performance Cat right there. If you try to look through it, you can't really see through it. There's a little bit of a cat in there. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a really neat piece. It's very light. You know what? Maybe I'll weigh that off camera. So it comes with this and that one bolt. So we'll unhook this here. This will take this whole thing out, including this whole cat right here. And then there must be a joint under here that we will get out too. So that'll take care of that. And then we're going to replace this with this pipe right here. And this says AEW Edge for Bear stainless steel matte polished black. But it's not black. And I'll get that unwrapped. I took this shield off. There was I think it was a 10mm bolt down on the bottom here. And then this kind of friction's in place on the top underneath here. So you get that bolt out and then you just wiggle, 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 and that'll pop out. And then this is a 12mm, got that loose. Then a 12mm right here, this bolt right here. Pull that off. If we're really lucky, this will just kind of pop off. Pop, pop, pop. There it goes. So that's the whole muffler right there. All right. So to get this loose, it is loose. I loosened up this joint right here, this connector. That's 10mm. Then back here, right back here, there was a 12mm right here. This thing, and that took like 800 strokes of the old wrench. You know, little movements. You know, we got that off and out. And then on the other side, right here was another one, this one right here. And that was 12mm. I got that out. Now I've looked around with my flashlight wherever that went, and I cannot find another connector. And it does feel loose. All right, I just tried pulling on it. I got it to move back a little bit, but there was a problem. There's that piece in here, this tang, I can't really show it to you. It is actually, as I slide the pipe back, hitting the frame, and I don't think I can get it to move far enough back because of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen these head pipes up. I suppose I'll have to loosen both of them. And then get this to drop down a little bit, and I'll be able to pull that out. And if I'm really lucky, I can do that without damaging the gaskets in there. Again, wish me luck. All right, Wahoo. I've got my hand on it because it's going to fall. But I loosened those bolts up. I used a 12mm with that flex extension on it right there. And did both sides. I don't know if I had to do both sides. And it looks like it's going to just kind of drop out on me here. Maybe not. I'll have to use two hands. I'll get back to you. I got it off. Look at that big hunk of metal. So what's going to replace that is this right here, just like that. And this weighs 2 pounds. I have a fish scale over yonder. This is 2 pounds, and this is 7 pounds. So 7 pounds, 2 pounds. So we're going to lose 5 pounds right here alone. So I'll get this on, and then I will put this on. I'll weigh this before I put it on, and I'll also weigh the muffler over yonder. So we'll know what our total loss is at the end of the game. Okay. So I did have to loosen these. I got this off. I got that off. I think I already showed that. I had to actually remove this because there's a bolt. I don't know if you can see it down in there. Now I could reach it and everything, but I just couldn't get it to start. So I took this off. I just used this right here. Popped that off. Came right off. Got that bolt in immediately. Went right in after I got that off. It's quicker to take this off than it was to fight with it. So then I got that tight. I went back here and tightened all these up with the flex on my 12mm, and then I went ahead and got a regular extension, and then I made sure it was tight, and I'm just hoping those don't leak. When you pull those loose, sometimes you get leaks, exhaust leaks. So now our job is to, so look how much is off of here. All this is now gone. I looked for any bolts that I could put back or anything like that I could do, but everything's, I think, as it should be, solid as a rock. Look at that, AEW Performance Cat. See that right there? Isn't that cool? I'm thinking that's good. I tightened this up. I think it's 10 millimeter right there. Right there. So it should be good. Now we will get this pipe out. I think it says AEW Edge for Bear, stainless steel matte polish. Baxter, get a hold of Baxter Cycle. Go to baxtercycle.com if you want one of these. They're also going to get some black ones. That's what I want. I want the black one on my bike. I've got the 249 model. I'd like to keep that black. So should be a good pipe. Let's get that on there. It's been about an hour. So everything is on. Every single piece is on. Check it out. AEW Performance Cat. Over here, AEW India. I haven't polished it up yet. I'm going to run it before I do that, I think. I did... So I've got all the tools laying out that I use. I used an X-Acto knife to get things loose. Looks like a 12 millimeter deep, 12 millimeter shadow. Flex wrench. This to get these off. Looks like I used a 10 and a 12 millimeter wrench there. A socket there. Screwdriver. I think that's all the tools. It did come with this little Allen wrench here so we could take the baffle out. Baxter's has a rule that the baffles have to come out. You can hand them to the owner, you know, as they go out the door. But I think all that's left now is to test it and see if it, you know, if we got any leaks or anything like that. So the Hot Rod Bear 650, that was a bear of a job. Wahoo, haha. Okay, here we go, guys. Let everything light up. Hold the clutch, kickstands up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Kind of tuned itself to the bike. Let that run for like 12 minutes or something. I don't hear any leaking. Do you?
Okay, I like that. So the stock pipe was, the end pipe was 7 pounds. The replacement was 4.5. The stock catalytic converter was, I think, about 7 pounds also. And the replacement was 2 pounds. So we lost a little over half the weight. And we hopefully gain some performance from the pipe. Royal Enfield Bear 650. The beautiful yellow color with the blue seat. 650 parallel twin, air-cooled, oil-cooled. Puts out about 47 horsepower. This one puts out, I think it's 43 foot-pounds of torque, which is something like 57 newton meters. 6-speed transmission. The bike weighs 478 pounds, or about 217 kilos. Now this one is about 7 pounds lighter, of course. Check that out. Upside down forks, 48 millimeters, 4.4 inches of travel. I think that's, can't remember, 115 millimeters we'll say. 19-inch front tire, 17-inch rear. It's got a 320 millimeter disc on the front, right there. Twin piston bibrake caliper, LED headlight, LED turn signals, LED everything. Check it out. Aluminum wheels, chain drive, dual shock on the back, a bunch of travel on the back. You know what, I think the rear is 4.4 inches, and I think the front is 5.1. So 130 millimeters on the front, and about 115 on the back, let's say. 270 millimeter disc on the rear, with a single piston bibrake caliper. I love the way these, and I have one of these, and I've got about 500 miles on it. And the seat has got kind of a contour to it right here, so when you sit on it, it really feels comfortable. I'm thinking about putting YSS shocks in the back of mine. I haven't decided yet. I want to get 1,000 miles on it before I make a commitment like that. It's got this wonderful, you know, display up at TFT display, tachometer on the outside, neutral light, gear indicator in the center, speedometer, clock, and then there's the odometer right down there. And you use this joystick over here, trip 1, trip 2, fuel range, consumption, voltage. I think that's it. If we were outside, this would be white. Since we're inside, it's turned dark. Beautiful. Look at the switch gear. It's got the barrel-shaped grips. It's got these wonderful levers. I love these levers. You know, they're wide this way. They're thin this way. They got the radius edges. And these are actually adjustable. You can adjust this distance here just a little bit. Coming back to the rear end. LED everything, of course. Turn signals, brake lights. Right here, I guess. Tail light, brake light, turn signals. Just gorgeous. Look at those tires. MRF, I think, tires. I can't remember. They're a 140/80 17 on the rear. I think it's a 110/90 19 on the front. 110/90. Yep, I was correct about that. Again, beautiful tire. You know, very nice tire. Look at that fender. Isn't that beautiful? I love the upside down forks. You know, that means less weight down here, the part that moves, More rigid structure up here on the top. Gorgeous. Some different headlight from the Interceptor. Different here on the Interceptor. A little bit wider handlebars than Interceptor, about 3/4 of an inch. Different side cover from an Interceptor. This one now has a Decat exhaust and the, well, you watch us do it. Just a beautiful machine. More room here. This frame cants up this one. I think they did that to give you a little more clearance here, since you have more shock travel. Beautiful, beautiful thing. I just love it. It's got the pegs are a little farther forward and a little lower. And these are the same thing that they have on the Himalayan, the new Royal Enfield Himalayan. So I've got a Himalayan also, and I've got a Bear like this also. And that gives you a little better, when you stand up, it's better. And it also gives you a little more leg room, not quite as tight. I think the other one had the pegs up here somewhere. The old Interceptor has the pegs up here. The old Interceptor is a great motorcycle, don't get me wrong. This one just has a little more room, a little longer wheelbase. It's about 2.5 inches longer than the standard one. I think the standard one is 1,400 millimeters or about 55 inches. This one is 57.5 inches, I believe. And whatever that is in millimeters, I'll put it down below, put it on the screen somewhere. I love these things. Very, very high style, It was hard to pick a color, I tell you. Look at this. Metal flake in there. Absolutely gorgeous done. So this is a 6 right here. You see that? And that's a half. So 6.5 for $650. Gorgeous bike. And it's going to be great with that muffler on there. If we didn't have snow outside, I'd take it for a ride. But we've got cold weather up here in Iowa. It's February. And lots of snow. So maybe next time. If y'all are in the market for a new or used Royal Enfield Triumph Classic British bike of any type, need parts, accessories, thingamajigs, doodads, gear, jackets, gloves, boots, anything at all, socks, underwear, get yourself over here to Baxter Cycle in the mighty metropolis of Marnie, Iowa, or go to baxtercycle.com. Tell those fine folks that Fuzzy Biker, that's me, sent you. Now, if it's a beautiful day where y'all are at, get out there and ride, my friends. Life is good. Wahoo!
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Wahoo! 3.